Hello, this is your host, John, on the Prepared Mind channel. This is our inaugural, our first video on Patreon, viewable only through being a Patreon member. So, welcome. I'm excited to be over here for a couple of really important reasons. I feel that the crowd is going to be more manageable. It's not going to be as chaotic feeling as YouTube is. So I feel like I can really get into nuts and bolts and really tell you like it is, the way I see things. So this particular video I think is extremely important to us as preppers, why we need to be preppers and think like preppers. So I'm going to get the board of truth out and we're going to go into some heavy duty information. Now I'm not claiming to be absolutely right. I'm not claiming to know everything, but I have some information I want to share. I'd like you to think about it. Just think about it. You can decide for yourself what applies, what doesn't. If it's close to the mark or if it's way off, and you can decide what you're going to do about it, if you can do anything at all. Because in a lot of cases, we can't do anything about what's going on that way or that way, but we can control ourselves. So let's take a look at what it is we'll be talking about and thinking about. So I'm going to go with the Wayne's World transition. Doodle-loop, 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 doodle-loop. Okay, here we are. We're talking about, at this stage, this juncture in the world, total control of us as people, of the entire system. The world, the governments, everything. Now, I became aware of this back in 1994. I started studying secret societies, the way government works, law, and I picked up this book, and it's called Racing Towards the Mark of the Beast. And it was published in 1994. And the subtitle is Your Money, Computers, and the End of the World. And the mark of the beast, of course, is referencing to the Bible's mark that people take, that without it they can't buy or sell. Whether they're free or slave, everyone has to have the mark. So the question of the ages has been, what is the mark? What shape does it take? How will we know it? What can we do about it? Right? So let's get into this. In 1984, discussion of cashless world money became more popular, vogue, if you will, because of the advent of the modern personal computer and the internet. Okay? So, what is this cashless system? This computer money worldwide agenda? Well, it had a goal. The goal is a lot of things. It's computer tracking every person. It's the computerized tracking of people, because it's the control of us as individuals that they want. Once they control us, they can control everything about us, right? But how do they do that? They have to have us enrolled, engaged in a system that allows them total monitoring, total control of us. Kind of Orwellian 1984, beyond any shadow of a doubt. So, the goal, right, is to collect, to catch this one thing here, taxes. Right now, in our world, 20 to 30% of the underground economy uses cash. Whether we're talking about drugs, prostitution, the gig economy, how about innocuous things, landscaping, Craigslist type sales of goods and services. There is a huge underground economy that uses cash. By going to a cashless system that requires computers, they can, the government, collect their taxes and also monitor behavior, right? So they want to track people and groups. They're going to claim this the same way they do about using cash. They want their tax money, but they're saying they're stopping illegal, illicit activity. drugs and terror and prostitution. They want to track you and me, right, as individuals and as groups. And they want to do this to stop terror and government subversion. This is what they always claim. It's to stop illegal activity. How can you be against that? So that's the mentality, the government's approach with this, and that's what they sell us on. We've got to stop all that tax-free stuff, that illegal activity. You pay taxes, they should too. You're not doing anything illegal, so you don't care. But we want to stop these bad guys, so we need to know all about you. They want to control movement. That is your ability to travel from city to city, house to house, state to state, or into other nations. They want to control your movement and monitor it. They want to control your business while monitoring it. They also want to control your speech. That is what you say. Because what someone else says is what you hear, and it causes you to think, right? That's why I want it off of YouTube. I want to say what I think so you can hear it and think for yourself. Make your own determination about facts, whether you want to believe or disbelieve, support or not support, oppose, get behind, whatever. It should be your choice. But the government wants to use control techniques to control your speech. Ultimately, it's about your rights, right? Your inalienable, God-given rights to life, liberty, own property, pursuit of happiness, if you will, the building of wealth, your independence, your personal sovereignty, that is yourself, right? So they do this, and this has been the plan, to have a world currency and a world government. With world currency, they get control of all the money. With the control of all the money worldwide, they have the control of all, everything. They control the money. He who has the gold makes the rules. He who controls the gold makes the rules. They no longer want cash. Something you can trade, slide under a table, give to someone else, conduct business as you see fit. They want electronic currency. And they talked about this in the book, right? This is an old book. It's just a rag now. But it teed me off. It cued me off. It said, John, pay attention and watch this. And I have watched since the time I read that book and many others, this untiring march towards world government, a world currency, world control by a group who happen to be bankers. Right? So they want to control all the money, and they can do that. Let's look about what they're doing and then how they're going to go about doing it. The financial system we have now, it's built on debt. Debt, 20 trillion in government debt in the US, over 60 trillion in personal debt, and a whole lot of other debt besides. We're on the verge of collapse. What they are looking to do and ready and willing to do is rebuild. That's right. Collapse this economic system. It's crumbling already. It's failing. They want to collapse it. Then they're going to rebuild it in the ideal system. A system they've had in mind. It's a system they've tested. They've tested it for almost a decade now. They've tested computers since the 60s. But they've tested an integrated system that uses internet communication capacity, where every hub is its own thinking hub that reports back to the main hub, that keeps track of everything, everything it hears, everything it sees, every bit of business. Okay? So how are they going to bring this system about? The internet is the world communications network. It has been tried and true, proven for over 20 years, used commercially by the whole world, through cables in the ground, through cell towers in the air. They want to use AI supercomputers. There's no mistakes. There's no mistakes about the data. There's no mistakes about your ID, your identification. That's right. The governments and the bank want to know who you are. They want to know your voice. They've got mine. They want to know my face. They've got it. They'll have everybody. People are worried about the palm scan, the thumbprint, the retinal eye scan. They don't need that. They don't need that. They can find out who you are by the way you walk, move, tonal inflection, geometry on your face, nose, corner of mouth, chins, ears, eyes. Everything is trackable and findable. We see this in movies all the time. They've let us know that they can find us at any one time. How else is this financial system going to come about? They want foolproof registration of who you are and your wealth. Regis, the king, the sovereign. You have to buy into the king's system, agree to its rules. Right? You cannot escape the system, is what they want. They want to go to 100% cashless. And in order to be part of the system, in other words, in order to buy and sell, to have a job, to make any transaction, they want to know who you are so they know you by sight. They can read you electronically. Right? We already have phones, iPads, iPods, computers, your car. Everything about you has an electronic signature and is registered to you. Okay? They have an internet communication system. Do you see how this is all neatly integrated? It is foolproof. Computers aren't dissimilar anymore. Computers aren't like, well, I don't understand what this computer's saying over here. They talk to each other, they figure it out. They have similar or exact same operating systems. The applications and software all match. They integrate. You cannot escape this system that's coming. So how? Right? How is this going to work? They've developed the technology. In case any of you are afraid you can't be totally controlled and made into a slave, let me explain where we're going next. It is called blockchain technology. Blockchain, you've all heard that. It's used in reference to cryptocurrencies. Now, people seem to think that cryptocurrency gives you privacy. They seem to think it gives you anonymity, that it's foolproof. That is, it doesn't fail. You keep your invisible, cashless, valuable thing, whether it's a Bitcoin or something else, inside an electronic wallet that's registered to you. It knows who you are. And every single transaction that you make using blockchain is certified, is recorded. In other words, it's self-regulating and self-controlling. What does that mean for freedom? Well, it gives you an immense amount of security, because what is yours is yours. At the same time, you are 100% responsible to the system under which it's created. You can't escape it. If you were to somehow perform an illegal transaction, the blockchain technology is going to rat you out. You see, the person you gave cryptocurrency, if they do something illegal, the government can go back and go through that chain of custody of wealth, that Bitcoin wealth. And they'll see that you paid him. You've now incriminated yourself by participating and registering in this cashless system. Everyone right now is becoming aware of Bitcoin. How foolproof it is, how cool it is, how unique, how handy. They're also discovering you're not subject to freedom with it. Right? People are going to jail for using it illegally. There is no privacy with it. The government can track it, follow it, get into the ownership, the blockchain, and discover where money came from and went and who it got paid out to, when and where. They will know everything because of blockchain. The very thing that everyone that I hear talking about cryptocurrency is excited about is the very thing that will enslave us all. Chains are not used for freedom. Chains are used for slavery, for ownership, and for control. Chains are not your friend. When you hand someone a $5 bill for a hot dog, that is the end of the transaction. You gave him the 5. He hands you the hot dog. Everyone's happy. There's no escrow, there's no holding, there's no tracking, there's no memory. There's no accusations that that $5 supported terrorism or that that hot dog you had was laced with drugs. You performed a legal transaction. But they want to say that that's not safe. They want you on the blockchain. What else about the word blockchain is reminiscent of slavery? Slaves are sold on the auction block. I don't know why anyone else hasn't caught this yet. It just sounds catchy and trendy. Blockchain. Yeah, take that, mother, right? No, it's not. It is technology. And when everyone has to use it, and in order to conduct business, everything will be registered. Every motion, every movement, everywhere. The artificial intelligence supercomputers are going to track where you're at all times. You won't be able to be a criminal. You could go, hey, that's fine. I'm not a criminal anyway. What do I care? Right? This is about total control. Total control. World cashless, blockchain, unified currency. World communications. Blockchain certifies and records every transaction. So taxes. You will pay taxes. Now, let's just say the taxes go up to 50% sales tax. You have no choice but to pay. If you've got $100 and you need $200 to perform whatever transaction you need to make it from one month to the next, you can't do anything else except try and pay with that. There is no other form of currency. They're going to get their taxes. And if you don't pay the tax, right, you cannot operate. They can turn off your Bitcoin. They can confiscate it. Whether you want to call it levy or seizure or garnishment, it doesn't matter. The government has total computerized control worldwide over you. You cannot escape it. It is inescapable. This system of cashless currency. And it's a world currency that they're working towards. You can trade and use Bitcoin here in the United States of America, over in Japan. You can go that way, several thousand miles to Europe. You can use it there. You can use it anywhere. It is going to be accepted and universal. They may not call it Bitcoin. I think they're probably going to call it FedCoin or WorldCoin. It's going to be catchy and trendy. It's going to use the blockchain technology, which is probably going to get better. More secure for those who are in charge, because they want what they want. Absolute, total control. They're going to control your mobility. How are you going to fill up your car with gas or electricity if you cannot fill up because your account has been frozen? Why would they freeze it? You're suspected of a crime. How did they suspect you of a crime? Total surveillance system. AI, measuring your walking, your facial structure, your voice. Tracking your movement electronically. If you're suspected of being in a crime, guess what? They're going to shut you down. If they don't want you to travel, let's just say the government says, people in California, we've decided you can't leave California now. They shut down your ability to move, to be mobile. It has this potential. Everything within the system has the potential. They can shut off your ability to buy a plane ticket, a train ticket, a boat ticket, a bus ticket, right? Everything requires now the permission of the state. Okay, everything is regulated. Everything is controlled. Absolutely everything. This is the mark of the beast. Period. Without getting all religious and hoity-toity about it, I don't have to. It's just a symbol that we understand. It's a symbol with a picture, this mark of the beast. What is it? It is going to be a cashless society with a world currency. We're moving to a phase where there's going to be world government. Right? Already, most of the rules are copacetic. They get along with each other. They're system compatible. America's got its quirks like guns and freedom. Other countries don't have much to give up or lose already. They're already destroyed. Right? So we have to look at what ifs. What if the people don't like it and they rebel? Right? What if the system fails altogether? As in, it fails to work. It fails to supply the government with the money it needs, the funding. What if it fails us as people? What if we don't have confidence and are motivated to work and produce wealth, that is, be paid in cryptocurrency on the blockchain? If we don't do all those things, the system can fail anyway. It's going to require confidence in the system. What about terror? Terrorism. There are going to be people who fight against this. They can destroy the communications network. They can destroy the supercomputers. They can attack and fight back. If any or all of those things happen, rebellion, failure, terrorism, right down here, I made it nice and small down in the corner. We call that SHTF, shit hitting the fan. It's bad enough that they're moving very quickly, very efficiently, very purposefully, intentionally, with clear sight and clear mind towards this system of total control. Slavery. But see, they want to give the slaves a little freedom, a little good stuff, some bread and circus, but they want total control, and that's what they're moving towards. You can feel it when you open your fridge, when you go to step on the gas in your car, when you pick up the phone, right? When you pick up your check stub, when you check your bank account, you can feel that you're being watched, monitored, controlled. This is just going to be the final piece of that. I'm not asking you to fight against it. I'm asking you to think about it. Bitcoin was introduced, I believe, back in 2008. I'm sure it was around long before that, and they've been testing it, system testing it, viability testing, compatibility testing, international commerce testing. It's just an alpha, or I'm sorry, a beta model, a beta system. They need to get it out there in the public and debug it. They need to get us used to saying the words and hearing the words and talking the words. They want us excited about it and accepting it. But they don't want to let something that could give them absolute and total control of every aspect of our lives. They meaning the bankers. They meaning the people in charge, the powers that be. They would not dare let something like this be created or distributed or utilized because it would threaten their power. People die all the time of accidents. JFK, John F. Kennedy, died because he dared stand up against the system. The banking cartels, the military-industrial complex, the mafia, they all had a hand in his death. If they're willing to kill the President of the United States publicly, they're willing to make sure we pay the ultimate price if we try to oppose this. The reason I do the Prepared Mind channel is because right now I have freedom of speech, and you have the ability to listen. That's why I wanted away from YouTube. I just didn't like it. It didn't feel nice to me. I didn't like them telling me what I could say. Didn't like them punishing me. Right? This system that I've gone over, it's all about control. And it's coming. You can't stop it. I can't stop it. There's nothing we can do about it. We can be aware of it. If you want, you can pray about it. But you need to understand how pervasive it is. They don't care if they collapse the system. They know that their system is failing already with debt, right? And it's on the verge of collapsing. They know that. In fact, they've caused it. They've prolonged everything as long as they need to. Just floating money out there, floating money out there. It's called quantitative easing. Then when they take it back, you know, they want to call it austerity. We don't have any choice. None at all. What you can do, though, is you can be prepared for all of its failures and shortcomings, for its system hiccups, or for terror, or for a rebellion in an area, or a geographic location. Could be a large area. We could see absolute and total rejection of this system, where the system could just not work at all. I don't know, because I don't trust these people. I know they're willing to let everything crash and burn, the entire international system of commerce and cooperation. They're willing to start wars when they don't get their way or they want something. What makes you think it's any different if they don't get their way? They'll let it collapse. They'll let it crash. But see, they want this. They want you on the block and the chain. They want to control your every movement by allowing or not allowing. To control every purchase by allowing or not allowing. Where you go. How about this? John, you talk too much. We're going to shut your system down. You can't buy or sell or do anything for a week. John, you can't buy or sell anything. Turn yourself into the police. They can freeze my accounts. They can control my speech that way. And they can stop others from hearing my voice and thinking independently. Because again, this isn't about me telling you what you have to believe. This is about me saying, look at this system. It's right around the corner. And everyone who is worshiping blockchain technology, they are inadvertently pushing for their own enslavement. People will willingly line up, put out their wrists, and ask for the handcuffs. And they'll get the security of the blockchain. Right? It's all about national security. You want security? Handcuff yourself to a post. You're about as secure as it's going to get. You're not going anywhere. No one can make you do anything. You're chained. You are enslaved. That's what they want for us. And then when they uncuff you and let you go for a little while, you feel free and feel good about it. Right? But you'll be sure and behave. They may not even need prisons, ultimately, in 50 years. Because everyone will be so conditioned to obey what they're told to do for fear of the punishment. The punishment of not being able to do anything. Open doors, for example. If doors all become electronic, they see your face, they know who you are, not let you in. Prohibiting your movement. The concept of total control and enslavement through the use of artificial intelligence and supercomputers and the internet and the interconnected smart home, smart car. Everything is smart now. So why not car locks and door locks? Why not? Why not every commercial transaction being tied to you as part of the blockchain, you as an asset owned by the banks? That's where this is going, and I'm going to stop right there. You are going to be monetized into the blockchain. Real estate, cars, and human beings. Please think about it. Now that I'm done, I'm going to toast you guys. Thank you for coming to Patreon, sharing this with me. Indeed, that's a good scotch. Share the Prepared Mind channel by clicking the link down below or copying it, right? www.patreon.com/thepreparedmind. Send that web address to people that you think would benefit from this type of information. Right? And also don't forget the preparedmind.club. This is the video site. The preparedmind.club is where you can do Prepper Connect. That is, if you need a prepper group, you're going to want to meet people in your area. You can meet up there. There's going to be forum, that is discussion boards. Right? I cannot have a discussion with hundreds and thousands of people. I can't do it. But you guys can discuss with each other, and there's some very intelligent people here already on Patreon that have come over from YouTube. That's what we're doing over at the preparedmind.club. You can buy prepper items over there that are as cheap as you can get them anywhere because it goes through an Amazon affiliation. Right? We have a Facebook account for more social communication, more interaction between ourselves to help ourselves learn, to help others learn before we get to this system that says no more. You're not allowed to talk to each other. So I'm doing this while I can, while it's possible. And I'm doing it in a way that is satisfying to me. Right? And so we've set up this system with Facebook, Patreon, and the preparedmind.club. This 4 years that I've been doing this and getting to this point where we have to do this, separate ourselves from YouTube, right? And then set up other systems, which is great. It's just going to help making prepping that much easier because we all are going to need food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan when shit hits the fan. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's government is not all that efficient. They're not all that smooth. They make lots of mistakes all the time. So once again, chance favors the prepared mind is yours.
Playtime is over. Get your Prepared Mind merchandise at thepreparedmind.club. Help keep free speech free and spread the word about the need to prep.